Hey Z4, this is Eric with Auto Replay. I think I may have a couple things for you to check, and I will show you the kind of diagnosis on the schematics to what I've seen in your video, how, the beeping is, it looks like it's an audible indicator. I'll show you on the schematics. And I think it's either one or two things. It's your hazard switch is going bad, or your turn signal switch, which I think is more leaning towards your hazard switch, and I'll kind of show you why. So let's get into it. All right, Z, I'm gonna see what's made behind this hazard switch, man. I just got parts just sitting here because I'm not really ready to put it all back together. But what's on the back of this hazard switch here, I believe, okay, so you have like a little, looks like a built-in circuit board in a sense. I mean, we can open this up right here and find out, but I believe this is just like the actual wiring diagram that has every different point to turn every light on in the car. So there's, from what I see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 main points, so I figured this is just like the actual wiring diagram, which we could look at. All right, so going back to this car, this is the other side of the hazard switch. Is just a connector. They're just connectors that go back into the wire harness. I mean, there's no relay actually behind it. It's a built-in switch. So the question is, I wonder with this hazard switch being out, I have to hook up the battery again. Man. Let me hook up the battery, hold on. I wonder the actual lights will work, So let's hook up this battery temporarily. I think I got all the ABS out. I mean, there's no ABS plugged in. What I see, I want to blow everything. Because I didn't work on this. That'd be terrible. Okay, make sure this is off. Should be fine. Well, I think that has to close the switch or something. Okay, I'm gonna hook up the battery. It should be good. We'll see these light switches work. All right, pray to God that. All right, we got a little juice. Okay, so without the hazard switch, start the annoying beep. The lights do not work. What I see, yeah, they don't work at all. So you gotta have a good hazard switch for your turn signals to work. That's for sure. Oh, dang it. All right, so according to this hazard switch, there are 7 points. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points on the hazard switch. So I would start on your hazard switch, because even with mine unplugged, nothing works right. So maybe yours is halfway working. I don't know. Either it is the hazard switch or something like a ground going to it. But it's weird that part of it works and part of that doesn't. Interesting thing though. It looks like this black and yellow wire here at the top comes from the combination control module, which is the N10, that module that's on the inside the engine compartment, and that gives it a signal too. So it's interesting to see that's part of it also. But I would think you should manually be able to turn on your hazards, and still have it work. So I would think that this is telling it to get a signal from a different area, because it looks like, your on-off switch should still be around here, and this is just giving it another on, I would think. But that's the thing about these electronics on this Mercedes. I mean, I'm not very certain on it. It makes me wonder, has anything changed on your car you know, or did it just start one day not working right? So that's the question. Okay, and this is shown on the actual 2003 SLK 320. So I can't remember right now exactly which year car you have, but it's still pretty similar. So let's just go through it real quick. This schematic here is showing the hazard switch. You know, is this whole box here. That's the hazard switch, right? You have, you know, your power going to it, which is always hot, your red and yellow. So we know you got power because it lights up red, okay? You got your brown wire, that's your ground wire. We know that works because the switch, when you press it, lights up red, okay? This is the light bulb in the switch, okay? And then you have another set of wires here. You got your black and green is, you know, it's either the, let's see what it is. It's the whole parking set of lights, and that is, it looks like it's going towards the right side, okay? So the black and green goes to the right side, which would be more your left, I think. That's the thing I think you'll be opposite than what I have, you know? The black and white is going to my left side, but it's probably more, maybe you're right. I don't know. I don't know if this is the same or not. Long story short, I'm pretty sure these circuits are working because your lights are coming on, okay? So I'm thinking these circuits are working. This black and blue wire is an interesting wire because this connects the hazard switch to the turn signal switch, okay? And you have to individually turn the turn signals on for left or right, but this black and blue wire must be cutting them on maybe both on the same time. So we know whenever you press the hazard switch, the left one kind of goes on and off, but not really. So, you know, that's why I'm thinking it could be either this, so like I was saying, this black and blue wire interconnects your hazard switch to your turn signal switch. So, you know, this turn signal switch may have something in it also that tells it, you know, obviously up is left and, you know, down will be right for me. So like I was saying, you know, the turn signal tells it when to go left or right. The hazard switch between this black and blue wire tells both of them to come on and stay on at the same time. Interesting thing, this black and white and blue wire goes back to the illumination controls module, which is basically the fuse panel that's on the side of the dashboard for the lights, and that has its own circuitry built in. But this is just ignition. Whenever you turn ignition on, this is turning power on to this also. So it's interesting because you have this audible indicator which is coming out the dash, which whenever you turn your ignition on is always beeping. So something is causing this to always beep. So we know we got a good ground because it's working in a sense. And you have to have a ground for this to work. So I would think that the ground is fine. So it must be a signal coming back. And the only other signal you have would be, you know, this is basically your junction point for all your parking lights here. So we know it's not that, you know. You know, so you got to go back. So either this turn signal here is stuck on, in a sense, you know, it's stuck. I guess where the lights are just staying on. That makes sense. You know, so that could be, and that's what's causing the audible indicator. Or, you know, this hazard switch here has this black and blue wire that's turning this turn signal switch on to turn this audible indicator in the dashboard on all the time also. So, you know, either one, what you could do is, you know, pull the trim off for the hazard switch, unplug it. I'm pretty sure this audible indicator, that beep should go away. If you get to the turn signal switch and unplug it, you know, and find out that this beeping goes away, then, you know, maybe you could determine which side it's coming from. But I would think it's got to be coming from one or the other because this is the beginning of the circuit here. You know, so that's the thing, that this is what is going to be turning this audible indicator on, and we know that's coming on all the time. So hope that works out, man, to kind of get you leaning in the right direction. And I wish you could just drive over to my house and, you know, we kind of figure out with a meter, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I'm thinking probably start with that hazard switch. You know, it's got a lot of built-in circuitry built in. It's either that or the turn signal switch, in my opinion. I'm not an automotive, you know, electronics troubleshooter here. So I hope this helps you out. You know, let's just keep on going at it. You know, we know that the relay that you put in looks like it did help get power to the hazards, you know, so at least we got power there. The instrument cluster has power, but it sounds like you already had a beeping noise, which is interesting. I got to go back and look at the video. So, you know, it's kind of throwing me for a loop right now. So yeah, I just had to double check that video, the first video, and you did have a beep before you changed the relay out. So even with the hazard switch not working properly, you still have a actual beeping noise. And, you know, the way I look on the circuitry, the relay is coming from a different place to turn the parking lot lights on anyway. That's what it's looking like. It's powering it from a different source, you know, to turn it on. So whenever you hit your key fob, you know, that's coming from your alarm module, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of different things that are turning these parking lot lights on. So I would probably start with the hazard switch. You know, maybe start with the alarm module. Maybe unplug that first, since it's in the trunk. It may be easier to get to. Maybe unplug that first, you know, and then turn the car on and see how it operates. You know, the alarm module's it's on my right passenger side. Maybe it's probably on your passenger side or your left. And it's just sitting up underneath where the spare tire kind of goes, and up in that little wheel well. Maybe start there, because it may be easier to unplug that, you know, see if it works. If not, you know, go to the hazard switch. I'm still kind of thinking that's it. But, you know, even though it comes on, but it's not working properly because it's got 7 different outputs, you know what I mean? And, you know, I would think that it should be lighting up all the lights all the time. And it's hard to see in your video because I don't see the parking lot lights, you know, and it looks like it's kind of maybe turned one side on, but maybe the other side not on. And, you know, that should be sending power to both sides at the same time. So it makes me think that, you know, that's the issue. So I guess, I don't know if your key fob is working now that you got the new relay in, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, you know, you got different different power supplies. One's coming from the alarm module, you know, when you use your key fob. One is coming from the actual hazard switch, you know what I mean? And that's a different, you know, power, it looks like. And the turn signals are still kind of, looks like it's tied through the hazard switch. So, you know, kind of go through there. Let's just see if we can figure this thing out, man. And, you know, we'll just go from there. So I hope you like watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.